Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Jenny. I have another Dollar Tree DIY for you. If you want to see how I made this LED shadow box, then keep on watching and I'll show you. Okay, so I just laid out a bunch of stuff that I might be using for this DIY, but these are the frames that I'm using. I'm using 4 of them. Now you can use 3 or 4. They're 5x7s and they're just brown, plain Jane. I picked out some flowers. I'll be using some of the wreath. I picked out a couple of pictures to use for the background. I'll be using some of the moss, the LED lights, some glue, and scissors. Now what you're going to do is take all these prongs off of your frames except one frame. So if you're using 3, take it off of 2. If you're using 4, take it off of 3. So you can use pliers or you can just keep bending them back and forth. Once you have all those off, you're going to take one of your frames without the prongs. You're going to take some of your glue and one piece of glass. Now you can use a hot glue gun. You can use the, super glue. Pretty much any kind of glue is going to work. Just try not to put too much on there because it will smear and then you're going to have to wipe it off and use cleaner and all that good stuff, which of course I had to do. You're going to take a piece of glass and just press it on there and make sure it's on there good. Now I put a little bit too much glue and you can see the smear. So I just got to take a paper towel and just wipe that off. It's better to do it when it's wet than when it's dry. So once you have that done, you're going to take another one of your frames without the prongs and you're going to take your glue and smear it all around the frame. Now I just dab all the way around. And once you have that all the way around your frame, you're going to take your other frame facing down, as you can see, and just lay it right on top. Now, if you're going to be using 3 of these, you're going to do that 3 times. If you're going to do 4 frames, which I'm using 4, you're going to do it with 4 of the frames. Now, here's the one that I have done. There's 4. And then there's the one with the 3. Now, you're going to make sure the last one that you put on is the one that has the prongs on it. Right there. So you need that to be your last one on there. Now you're going to take your background. You can use a plain piece of paper, or I chose these pictures that I really like from the Dollar Tree. So I'm not sure what one I'm going to use. So I'm going to take my frame and lay it on top, and that'll give you about an idea what it's going to look like. So I do that with each one of the pictures just because, I don't know what one I like. So once you decide what you're going to want, that's kind of plain Jane. So I decided to use this one. I believe those are the dogwood flowers, and those are my favorite flowers. So you're going to take the back of your frame and measure it and just cut along the edge. Make sure it's all even all the way around. Once you do that, either you can glue it or you can tape it. Now I'm going to take some of the willow wreath and I'm just going to break some pieces off to use as twigs. Now you can use as many as you want. You don't have to do this step, but I kind of want to make it like a 3D. So once I have it how I want it, then I take my glue and start gluing the pieces on. So I got 2 on so far. There's a little bit more. Now just be patient with this, which it's hard for me to do, but I really don't think you need to use this strong of glue for this part, but I was too lazy to get up and look for the other glue. So this will be the last twig that I put on this side. Now you can just do it on one side or you can do it on both sides. And voila. Okay, now I'm going to take some of the moss. And I'm going to decide to kind of cover up the bottom of the twigs just to make it not so messy looking. Oh, and there goes my twigs. Runaway twig. It's a lot of glue. And then I'm just going to press some of the moss on there. Now once you have that done, I'm going to take another twig. I'm going to take one of my birds. They all have a clip on the bottom. And I'm going to clip the end of the twig on there so it has something to hang on to. Little birdie dance. Now this is how I thought I was going to do it, and it just didn't look right. So I'll show you what I end up doing. So I found it a lot easier to place the bird inside the shadow box, just like that. See? But I decided it looked kind of plain on the other side, so I'm going to add some more twigs and a little bit more moss. And more glue. My glue is clumping up. I spent a lot of time figuring this DIY out. Okay, so now I'm going to take some more moss and my handy dandy glue and just squish it on there. Ta-da! So now you can see that it's all sticked. I don't even think that made any sense. And I'm taking my little bird that has a little pin on its bottom. I'm just going to add just a little bit of clumpy glue on there. And then I'm going to stick the little bird on one of the branches. So that's where I decided to place the baby. Now I'm going to take some of my dogwood flowers and just pull them right off. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the tip of it. And then just place it on some of the twigs. Now, like I said, a lot of these steps are optional. You can use whatever you want, but this is what I chose. I think the flowers and the twigs went really well with this background. And I bought all this stuff recently from my Dollar Tree, so you should be able to find everything. If not these kind of birds, you can use other birds, if you want to use birds. So that's what I ended up doing. Now I had some leftover fence from Hobby Lobby, and you get 2 pieces for only $1.99. If you use a 40% coupon, you can get it just a little over $1. So I decided to use some of the fence and add a little bit more moss in there. And take my little birdie and just place them right in there. Stay. Stay. Good bird. Now I'm going to take my background and just try to get an idea on what it would look like. Now you don't have to add the LED lights, so I'm just showing you what it looks like without the lights. Which I think it looks really cute without. But I'm going to go ahead and add them anyway. Now these are the LED wire lights that I recently got from the Dollar Tree. They have either silver or copper, and I'm using the copper just because I'm going for more of the rustic farmhouse look. Now you got to have patience for this part because these lights did not want to follow my directions. And you can see that I'm hanging the end part on the bottom of the frames. So once you get all the wires to where you want them, you put your back on, and there you go. How adorable is that? This is honestly my favorite Dollar Tree DIY that I've ever done. And this is what the back looks like. So I hope you enjoyed this Dollar Tree DIY. If you did, be sure you give it a big thumbs up. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys, keep smiling.